Hello, Jim Hodges here, the voice behind the unabridged recording of Richard Little Bear Wheeler's book, God's Mighty Hand, Providential Occurrences in World History. This book has inspired my faith more than any other book outside of the Bible. Richard Little Bear Wheeler retells 80 amazing stories from world and U.S. history from a providential viewpoint. You're going to hear stories about Alexander the Great, St. Patrick, Charlemagne, John Huss, from Christopher Columbus, William Tyndale, Oliver Cromwell, Squanto, George Washington, Patrick Henry, Napoleon, Queen Victoria, notice we're going straight through history, Abraham Lincoln, Ira Sankey, Cora ten Boom, Winston Churchill, the Battle of the Bulge, Alvin York in World War I, and the 1967 war in Israel. And that's not all of them. That's just a few that I grabbed off of the list. I want to tell you a story of Ira Sankey, however. This will give you an idea of what these stories are like. Ira Sankey was the song leader of Dwight Moody when he was giving his crusades throughout the late 1800s. Ira served in the Civil War. He fought for the North. And at one point, the Union forces that he was with were stationed along a river, and Ira was given picket duty along the river front. He was supposed to be there, overnight and make sure that no rebels crossed the river on his watch. Well, he was, trying to make sure that he could stay awake, so he would sing a song. And one of his favorite songs was, Savior, like a shepherd, lead us. You actually hear me sing this song in this, if you listen to the story. I'm not going to sing it now. But, so he sang the first verse, and he sang the second verse, and he sang the third verse, and he sang the fourth verse, and, he just kind of went on with his picket duty. Well, after the war was over, and a couple of years later, Ira Sankey was on a riverboat on the Mississippi River. And it was Christmas Eve. And somebody asked him, hey, Ira, you've got a great voice. Why don't you sing us a song? So he said, I'll be happy to do that. I'm going to go off and ask God what he wants me to sing. So he goes away for a little while, and God tells him, Ira, I want you to sing, Savior, like a shepherd, lead us. And Ira says, well, okay, I will. But it is Christmas Eve, and that's not exactly a Christmas song. And God says, no, sing that song. So he said, okay. So he goes back to the group, and he sings, Savior, like a shepherd, lead us. And out of the crowd, a gentleman comes up to him and says, you sing very well, Mr. Sankey. And he said, thank you very much. Can I ask you a couple of questions? And Ira says, sure. The gentleman says, were you involved in the late Civil War? He said, yes, I was. He said, did you happen to be stationed along this particular river on this such and thus and such a date? And Ira said, well, yes, as a matter of fact, I was. He said, I was on picket duty on the other side of that river from the Confederate side. And I had you in my sights. And all of a sudden, you started singing, Savior, like a shepherd, lead us. So I put my gun down. I let you finish that one verse. And I thought, okay, well, that's enough out of you. And I picked my gun up again, and you started a second verse. I put my gun down again. And that happened all 4 verses. And I finally realized, that man has earned his life. He sang so beautifully, I'm going to leave him alone. So Ira talks to this gentleman and says, you mean to tell me that my singing saved my life and you were about to kill me? And he said, yes, absolutely. And you know what, Ira? I want to know what it is that makes you so confident in the things that you sing about. And Ira Sankey was able to witness to that gentleman and brought him to salvation in the Lord that night. That's just one of the kinds of stories that you're going to get 80 stories like that in this book. Just send chills up your spine. This is an unabridged recording of the book. Total listening time is 12 hours and 45 minutes. You can get this book at mantleministries.com. You can get the unabridged recording, obviously, on my website. Every word of it will inspire you just like it did me.